Facebook, Instagram, and Google. So you have to still spend with the ads. So we'll do all the SEO, we'll do all the landing pages and email marketing and managing the ads and managing the messaging and managing everything. You just still need to have a spend that's sort of equivalent to your management fee. So if you're spending about $1,500, you should expect to spend $1,500 or more in ad spend at least. Again, we can make as many patients as you want to show up. I'll give you 1,000 patients. It just costs more money to get them there. But the return is insane. I mean, it's like a 10-to-1 ratio. So you're not losing out no matter what. I mean, the first patient you get in pays for literally the entire month, which is crazy. So I think we've set up these programs, as I showed you before, that they're set up to kind of take in the guys who are beginning, the gals that are beginning, and that's sort of hey, I need to have just the basics set up, and then the next step is, okay, I need to floor it. Okay, great, we'll put you in the next package, which will give you a lot more spread. And then folks who are a little bit more advanced beyond that are looking for advanced video marketing, YouTube advertising. You can really go as far and wide as you can, but just starting off with just paid ads in Google and Facebook and running email marketing, get that done, because that's going to pay for it. Go ahead.
Yeah. How about if you have an existing website for years, but now you decided that you want to have a branding and a new name or something like that? What do you do with that sort of patients that are already following this website and all these things?
Yeah, you can, well, two things. You can forward the website. If you built a new brand, you can always forward that website to the new brand, which happens all the time. A lot of the time, what we'll end up doing is doing multiple sites for practitioners. So in the case where we're trying to take over an area, we might do multiple sites based off of the practitioner's specialty. So if they want to run a cool sculpting world in X town or X city or X state, we can just build a cool sculpting state site. Say, this is the cool sculpting center of Virginia, whatever. All these are just lead magnets back to landing pages, which basically are appointment setting mechanisms. So yes, the question that you asked is important because I think a lot of people have branding changes that they go through in their head, but still you're doing the same thing, which is you're providing the same service, so you have to think about that strategy. We usually help people get through the branding strategy as well. It's something that we've done a lot. There comes a time when you need to sort of stand out in the market, and if that's what people are trying to do is become an element in the market as opposed to a me too, and that's usually when we end up doing stuff.
I know we could just hire you, but let's say,
I'm listening.
how can we examine other companies? Because I'm sure they give all the same.
Yes.
So what specifically, what number should we be looking at when we have someone? Is this a good company that's bringing? Can you give
Yes.
more specifics as to just?
Absolutely, and that is an awesome question. I thank you for asking that. The first thing I would ask them is, what's your average cost per lead for X? And then if they can't answer that, then you're in the wrong game, right? Because you don't, so if you need to get 20 patients next month, and you're going to be running Botox, you need to know what you need to spend in order to get the patients in the paid ad category especially, because you're not going to have any, or if you're just starting out, you're not going to have any categories that are built yet because you're not there in the market. So the first thing I would say is how much do you guys estimate it would cost me to get a lead for X service so that I can understand my budget? Because really at the end of the day, you need to know what you need to spend in order to get the patient in the door. And if you say, I got 20 patients and it costs $50 a lead for Botox, that means I need $1,000 to spend to get those 20 patients in. So at least you have a starting point. That would be my first question to ask if I were in your shoes, because then I would have some data points. If they can't answer that, then I think you have a bigger challenge, which is how experienced are they in this space, right? Because I would want somebody, if I'm marketing you this MedSpas space, I hope you have some experience, show me. So the other thing is you want to see reviews, real customers, and then talk to the customers. So if anybody comes to me, I said, if you want to talk to our customers, they'll scream us to the heights because they're always saying, hey, you guys are killing it for us. What are you doing? We're doing profit engine tuning, meaning that we are solving the big question, which is, once you get set up and get started, who's got the switch and who's making sure that everything's moving forward and getting more positive and getting less cost and more production. Because if you're getting someone who's helping you do production faster and faster, now it all makes sense because there's a value not only with the spend and having someone manage it, but actually having someone drive better results. And that's the big challenge in this space. As you said, there's a million people, not a million, but there are other people in this space, especially in aesthetic marketing. I would challenge them to ask, what are your procedures in giving me a cost per lead, and how are you going to make it better over time?
What's a good number cost per lead? I know it depends on-
I'll tell you what, my last podcast I went through about 10 services. So if you go to iTunes, just type in medical practice marketing podcast in iTunes or in just Google. And I went through like a bunch. It's like an hour's worth of all this stuff, like not an hour, about 20 minutes. I went through every single cost. And if you want to talk about it afterward, I can give you the exact numbers. So I don't know them off the top of my head. We literally did like 15 or 20 different services. But there's definitely a way to strategize. Can I? Okay.
Yep. How do you monitor patients when they call the office that they're actually finding the website and all this? And your patients, how do you do that?
Yeah, so what happens is that in the ads you have out there, you have tracking numbers. So the tracking numbers would be the same number as your area code. And then when someone hits that tracking number, the call gets recorded, and then it gets into your, basically goes to your main number. But that would know, you can do the recording, you can't do the recording. But the whole point is you're tracking the phone number from the ad and whether or not that person.
There is a different phone number on the ad than actually your main number? Is that what?
Correct, right. So remember, a patient doesn't know your number. They have no idea who you are. So they're just clicking on the first thing to see. And especially when you talk about ads that are on Google, they may be on their phone and just clicking a call button that says click to call. And that number then basically you have a system. I could show you if you want to see an example. But we're tracking all those phone calls, and in some cases we're recording them if the client wants us to record the phone calls so they can do better jobs of converting the patients when they come in and helping their staff get a little bit better on closing patients.
And they call directly from the website, and they call, click it, and then the number, the phone.
Yeah, if you look on your phone, you can literally just type in MedSpa near me, and some of the ads will just say, click here, and it just clicks and just starts ringing, yeah. It's just, that's what I'm saying, like that going right to an appointment is, you guys can make a lot of money. I'm just telling you, I see this stuff and I'm just blown away. How much this market is, how insatiable the market is. Not even about how big the market is, but how much demand there is right now if you just clicked on MedSpa near me, and like how many people right now in a mile radius are doing that right now. It's crazy. And that's why you guys are in a good spot. You have good people here who are going to train you on all these different things, but more importantly, you're in a good space because this industry is just going like that. And we've seen it over the last couple of years just grow tremendously because there's a lot of product coming in too. Yeah.
Do you also advise your clients on pricing and pricing strategies?
Yeah, for sure.
What was the question?
That does not sound enthusiastic.
Yeah, well, okay, so here's the question. The question is, do we advise people on pricing strategies and pricing ideas? Yes, we do, but I will tell you that it's difficult for me to say it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I think you need to understand your market and what's being offered. Usually you'll know by looking at your competitors within a 10-mile radius, and you'll understand what they're offering to some degree. As far as pricing up or pricing down, yeah, we can help with variance. We do this all the time. I mean, it's like, what do you want to offer, and then what do you want to give away? What are your margins? There's lots of variances in there. We try and keep something that's reasonably within the market regime, so that you're actually providing services in the space within the framework of what you really should be offering. A lot of the time, you're going to figure it out by osmosis. I mean, it will just happen. You'll know kind of where you should be. I hope that answered your question. The answer is yes. But usually that's a discussion once we've set the stuff up and we see where it's running, and then we see if it's not converting well enough, we can change up the pricing or the offer to match the market. And a lot of it has to do with just how you word the ads, so that the people feel as if you're the market leader, and they'll actually even pay more if you have the right ad copy.
Do you have an architect or a decorators to make it look like Solis?
Yes, of course we do. Yeah, I mean, we have a team. We build probably 30 to 50 websites a month. I mean, we've got this dialed in. And if you need help with building a site, that's what we do for a living.
Not the site, the real office, to
Yeah,
build an
you
office.
got
Interior decorators.
No, I'm not, I wish I did. You can talk to Hardik about that, he'll know. All right? Did you do this?
No, I couldn't think of this. Pay someone to do it, architect and an interior designer.
Right.
So one last thing, and again, I know this was a lot, and it's like, holy crap, I turned on the fire hose, you guys are like, woo, like, I get it. What I'm doing for this show, is anybody who wants to have a website built, we are going to do a $500 CEO special, I call it. So it's $500 off any website. So I have it up here. You guys can see. I'm going to just put up our site so you can get this. /, I think I did face -500. See if that's it. It might not be it, but we're at this point. Yeah, okay. So basically, anybody, if you guys need a site, just work with my team. They'll work up a proposal for building you a site if you need a site, and just hit me up with an email and I'll take $500 off whatever the team comes up with. So again, this is the site. It's face-500. So I kind of like one of those Easter eggs hunts. My team doesn't know about this, but don't tell them. So whittle them down to nothing, and then come back to me and you get another $500 off. So shh, don't tell my team. They're gonna be mad when I do this stuff. They hate when I do this random stuff. But I was thinking about it this morning. I really want to get you guys, you especially, starting off something that's gonna win. And I love when we build some really beautiful sites for new people, and then they say, "Oh, this is awesome." All my friends say that we look like the best thing around. Like, yeah. Because that's the only way you're going to really win at the end of the day, is that people want to refer something that looks beautiful, just like you do with your patients. It's like, that's what's cool about it. So again, I'm here, so I'll be here for a while. Just hit me up, questions. Any question, don't worry.
Back to your pricing.
Yeah.
You said a range of roughly $1,500 to up to $5K monthly.
Yeah.
Is there a sign-up fee, like a one-time fee?
For you, yes, because you asked too many questions.
Just
No,
starting
we
out.
don't have any sign-up fees or any yearly agreements or anything. People work with us, they just work with us. We're not trying to rope people into some long-term arrangement or you take your first child or whatever. I don't really care about that. What I want you to do is be successful, and we'll help you get through the process of becoming a professional outfit with a good look and a good marketing plan. You'll want to come back and just do more, because it's going to end up being so profitable. At some degree, you're going to be like, okay, what's the best thing I want to do? And that's what we end up doing. It's like, well, really, what do you want to do? As which parts of this do you want to do in your practice? Because you can refine these marketing strategies as deep as you want, but I think what ends up happening for a lot of the practitioners we've worked with is they'll come back, and I think they want to look at the market and go, hey, if I was to do it all over again, I'd be doing X and Y and Z instead of Q, L, and 7. Is that good? Any other questions? I know you guys have been sitting here for a while, so I can smell the brain fumes coming up. It's like, oh my goodness. Again, my name is Matt Coffy, Customer Balloon is the company. My email is here someplace. It's at the bottom, and it's also in your kit. I'll be here for a while, and if you guys have questions, again, any question, don't ask, don't worry about whatever it is. Even if it's a silly question, I'll answer, because there's a lot of stuff in this space. Thank you very much, by the way.